Thanks for listening to the Sergio Nazzaro podcast. I'm Sergio Nazzaro, the founder and CEO of, my life. I've grown up here in Colorado and I've decided to stay put as I continue to pursue being an entrepreneur and growing my business as a real estate agent. Prior to this, I graduated from the United States Air Force Academy and served my country for 11 years before becoming a CrossFit coach. I have a lovely wife, Lizzie, and we are in the process of growing our family and living here in the Swans Lake neighborhood. For the last 2 years, I've committed to documenting my process in both my personal and professional life as a means of journaling, and hopefully helping others along the way. So listen in as I share the next chapter of my story. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another episode. It is a Sunday afternoon, and listen, y'all, it has been one hell of a week. In the best way possible, and also just like in the most exhausting way possible. A lot of real estate, a lot of things about, we had a conference this week, a lot of stuff around the house, a lot of personal stuff. It was just like a busy week, and one of the things I've been doing for the last few years is tracking my recovery. Oftentimes I post about it on social media, on my Whoop score, right? I track my recovery and my workouts. And this week, right, like there was a steady decline as the week went on. So I've been doing strength training in the morning, and then I ride the Peloton in the afternoon, and it's been great. But what I've seen is that my recovery just goes down, down, and down. And what I've also seen is that as you start to add some additional stressors on there that I had this week, it really does impact your recovery. And so I think it was Friday morning when I woke up, my recovery score, which is on a scale of 0 to 100, was right around a 26%. And that's pretty low. That's really low. But I think it's the culmination of everything that I had been doing the entire week. The preparation to speak at 8Z conference, getting clients under contract, managing contracts. It's just all these stressors. Sometimes you don't sleep as well. I had 2 back-to-back, nights of just bad sleep. One morning I woke up at 3 a.m. and then the next morning I woke up at 2 a.m. And I think it just adds and adds and adds up. And I posted something about, hey, you don't always feel at 100%. But that doesn't mean you don't get to doesn't mean you shouldn't do the work. Now, I got some, kickback from that, or pushback from that, saying you should let your body rest. And listen, I agree with you. There's no need to push and push and push on your body until it breaks down. I've learned that the hard way through multiple injuries and a lot of just chronic soreness. So what I've come to realize though is that just because you don't feel like it doesn't mean you shouldn't work out. Now, my recovery was trending in the direction that was on a downward slope, right? It was green Monday, Tuesday, yellow Wednesday, Thursday, and by Friday it was deep in the red. But I didn't feel bad. And so I went and worked out knowing that I was going to have a nice recovery weekend. I wasn't going to have to do a lot of strenuous activity. And I'm glad I did, because I think sometimes we have to learn to play when we're not at our best. And, Whoop does this podcast, and they were talking with, who was it? I don't know. I think it was Patrick Mahomes. It was somebody that was on the Whoop podcast, but they were basically just talking about how, they don't even look at their Whoop on the day of a game. Oh, it was Rich Froning, not Patrick Mahomes. It was Rich Froning, who, if you don't know, he's this, one of the original CrossFit guys and just really, really good at what he did. But he talks about how, on the days that he's competing, he doesn't even look at his recovery because it doesn't matter. Some days you're just going to have to play when you're not feeling at your best. And I wasn't feeling at my best on Friday, but I stepped up and I did the work. Not only the physical work of going to work out, but I also did the work of going to our conference and, having to put some time and effort in there as well. And so I share that with you because there are days where you're going to wake up and you're not going to want to have to do some of the things you're supposed to do. And it's on those days where when you keep the promises you've made to yourself and you have that discipline and some of that, those habits that you've built, they can carry you through. And so I would encourage you sometimes just explore that. Is it you're actually tired, or are you just not feeling like you're doing it? Your motivation isn't there. Because I didn't regret doing it. And now here I am on Sunday, in a nice recovery day. I feel good and I'm really glad I did that. But I think a lot of the stressors came from our annual conference at 8Z. And not in a bad way, right? There's some prep work that went into it because I had a role there. On Thursday, I got to get on stage and I got to speak to all the agents at 8Z and teach them and show them our process of how to work with sellers and buyers, with the hope that they took some things away from that made them more efficient in what they do. You know, in 2021, I really tried to adjust my business and not work on Sundays because I wanted to spend more time with Lizzie. And that was a drastic change from 2020. But the only way I was able to do it was by creating these systems and processes in my business. And not to sound like cliche, like you should have a system, you should have a process, but like when you know what you're supposed to do and it's duplicatable and it's repeatable and you know the results that come from it, it clears up a lot of mental space and it allows you to step into these situations with clients and you know how to navigate them, you know how to handle that, and you know how to like lead them to a decision. And so, you know, we did a lot of prep work. Me, my buddy Steven, and my buddy Luke. It was the three amigos on stage teaching our processes, and it was really sweet, but it took a lot of preparation work. Getting down the outline, rehearsing how we were going to say it, condensing it into 30-minute presentations. And it was great. I think it went really well. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. You're always going to be your hardest critic, but we had a great response. And what I realized, and I've known this for a long time about myself. I'm fucking surprised I'm not famous at this point. Not in like, I don't know what I'd be famous for, but you know, I thought I'd be famous as a kid. But what I realized speaking on stage is that I love public speaking. Like if there's a way that I could figure out how to get paid to do that, get in front of enough people to share my story, my pain, how I've overcome it, and my perspective, I would love that. And I had the opportunity because 8Z brought in a speaker named Chris Singleton, and that guy has an incredible story. And his story is basically he was a former professional baseball player, and his mother got murdered during a hate crime at a church. And his whole message is unity of people, bringing people together, and to live in this world with love. And you know, it doesn't matter your color, your sexual orientation, your ethnicity, how you speak, if you have an accent, your language, it doesn't matter. We can all come together. And his message was really powerful. But one of the things that I took from that is don't be a professional success and a personal failure. And what he meant by that was don't step into your professional career and have everybody just giving you awards and accolades and you're everything and you're the greatest to them. And then turn around and you come home into your personal life and your family and your spouse and your kids and whoever wish that you would treat them like you do the people in your professional life. And that's can be really hard, right? We give and give and give to our professional career because it's important to us. I give and give and give to my clients. I give and give and give to the 8Z organization. I give and give and give to TikTok and Instagram and this podcast. But none of it means shit without Lizzie. None of it means shit without my family or my friends. And so that quote that he said hit me right here hard. And it's something that I'm going to carry with me. Because being a success in your professional life and a failure in your personal life is a real fear of mine. It's easy to run the race and then forget about the important things when you're focusing on the wrong things. And so that always comes back to what I tell what I talk about is like centering yourself, grounding yourself in the morning, journaling, being in tune with your feelings and your emotions. Being open to exploring what you're good at and what you're not good at. Understanding your shortfalls, understanding your patterns. And Chris, I just want to say thank you for that because that was incredible. And what I loved about Chris too is that after the fact I went up to him, I was like, hey man, thank you so much for your story. You know, the other quote that he said, he's like, he's grateful. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I wrote it down. that he's grateful, but he doesn't want to. Gosh dang it, I wish I had this written down. But anyway, I went up to him. This is what happens when you forget to write things down before you hop on this podcast. But anyway, I went up to him after his speech, and I thanked him for sharing his story, for his vulnerability. And I also asked him and let him know, hey, one of my dreams is to do what you're doing, man. Like, this is awesome. You're traveling 150 days a year. You're telling your story. You're getting paid to do this. How? And he shared how he did it. And then he gave me his email and told me to reach out and that he'd be willing to help. It's cool to see somebody that's like 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. And then to go talk to that person and have that person be cool with being like, hey, if this is what you want to do, I'm going to help you too. And this is how you do it. And gosh, I'm just so grateful to have like somebody like that who's like willing to share. And like, honestly, that's what I try to do. Like I've had some success in my career. And I've had some quick success in my career in real estate. And that's part of the reason I want to give back. I want to give back to the organization. I want to give back to people. I want to share my experiences of where I fucked up in my personal life so that other people know that they're not alone. I want to normalize PTSD. I want to normalize all these things that have happened, getting bullied, right? And to know that people aren't alone. And so for him to just like be like, yeah, let's go, come with me, was so cool. And the other part of this whole conference that was really sweet is 2 things. One, I've been coaching for 8Z for 3 years now. And I got to see a lot of the girls and guys that I've been coaching on stage winning awards. Knowing that the impact that I've had on them has allowed them to create a business and a life that they're proud of, that they're so excited for. And I got to sit in the crowd and watch them win. And I'm not a parent yet, but if that's what fucking parenting feels like, I'm pretty stoked because I was so incredibly proud of those individuals. They do some amazing things. They listen, they work hard, and they deserve it. And so I'm just so proud of the people that just do the work, put their head down, and just focus on getting better every single day. And it was absolutely incredible. Now, a little patting myself on my own back here too, is I made partner at 8Z Real Estate. It took me 4 years to do it. One of the faster people in the organization to do it. And I am truly grateful for that. And so one of the questions they asked us on a panel that I got to sit on was, what does being a partner mean to you, right? Because now I'm part owner of the organization. Now I get healthcare and benefits. Now I get a little bit of a salary, right? It's pretty cool to have that behind me. My thought is like, I feel a strong responsibility now to bring everybody else who wants to make partner but is not there yet along with me, to accelerate their growth pattern, to move them from where they are now to where they can be and do that as fast as possible. I just feel like a strong responsibility to do that. Not only through coaching, but living a life that hopefully inspires people, leading by example, and just doing the fucking work. Like, that's it. Like, my life's about to change. And I've had a lot of people say that I'm not relatable because I don't have a kid or because of my work ethic or what I do. Like, I got told that what I put out on social media isn't relatable in the sense that they couldn't do it to the scale I do it, which I fucking call bullshit on. But I'm so stoked to live a life that inspires people. And I think by becoming a father and adapting to that new type of lifestyle, adapting to that new frame of mind, adapting to that new environment with that little kid there, not only am I going to be able to understand and relate to other people, but hopefully I can squash some of their fucking excuses too. You can't be upset about the life that you don't have because of the work you didn't do. That's not how it works. And so being a partner now, like, I realize I have a strong responsibility. I do have a spotlight on me. And it would be a bad decision. It would be wrong of me to not lead by example. And that's fully what I intend to do. So, and it was an amazing week at 8Z Conference. So many amazing things came out of it. Like, I'm just stoked. I'm just so happy today. Like, I'm just so happy. And I hope wherever you are listening to this on Monday that you have an incredible week. And I share this one thing with you. Coming back to that quote. Take inventory on your life. Take inventory of your work-life integration, that harmonious balance, that harmonious dance between the two. Are you a professional success and a personal failure? Are there areas in your life where you're succeeding but you're failing in others that you say are the most important to you? Explore those. Make sure that those are aligned with who you want to be in the life you're trying to pursue. Have an incredible week, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time,